This is Darren Marchant with American Nomad News. And today, I'm going to present to you a little bit of a roadmap to how I'm going to develop this explanation of what we can do in space and how it can benefit you. Now, my target audience is the general public, or as some people refer, the layman, not the expert, although I'd be happy to have subscribers who are experts in the field. But it's really important that the general public support any large program. Otherwise, it's just not really going to happen. And so if I can explain, if I can teach towards the general public how this can work, then we can make some progress in some unique and interesting ways. In order to get there, I'm going to need to present something of an alphabet, an ingredients list, if you will, of different concepts that the space industry professionals already know and understand. In order to get to the solution that I've come to, which the space professionals are not seeing, they're not talking about, it's not there. Now, the reason that these otherwise incredibly brilliant people are not seeing these solutions has something to do with a psychological trick that in a lot of industries is called the box. When you live inside the box, in other words, when you work for the corporation or the government agency like NASA, or you are a professor in a college, and the assumptions that and the principles that are in operation in those volumes are referred to as the box. It's a concept that these people are well aware of. It's a bit of a trap. It means that you can't see a solution. All of the people in the box, all of the king's men and all the king's horses couldn't put Humpty Dumpty back together again because they can only see what's in the box, and they can't get out of the box to look and see something new. Now, I've lived outside the box. I've been watching the space thing since I was a little kid. And I've developed something of an understanding of this alphabet that they use. These different separate concepts that can be applied in different ways and in different aspects of a space plan to do something. So I'm going to start by a series of videos that goes through the A, B, and C of space so that you have a general idea of what these things mean. You don't have to be a super duper mathematician. You don't have to understand these things super well in order to understand how they can be applied. So let's take a look at something of a partial roadmap of that alphabet and what I mean by the A, the B, and the C, and so forth. There's a lot more of them, but I'm just going to show you a couple today. Okay. And I'm drawing them up on cardboard because I'm homeless. And this is what I can get. Now, at the top center, you see a flowchart. Now, a flowchart is a planning method that allows you to check all the little factors as you go to make sure everything lines up and you can make something work. Okay, now you can see I put LEO, that is a reference to low Earth orbit. So there may be some part of a plan that involves low Earth orbit. And then how do you go from there? Okay, this box might say, can you blah, blah. And this one says, and it would say no. And this one say, can you blah, blah, and yes. And if yes, then it opens the door and you can go to these other factors. It's something about flowcharts. So we're going to work with flowcharts along the way, and that's a little bit about that. Up here we see ABC. That's to symbolize that each of these different concepts is like a letter in the alphabet. Once you understand this little encapsulated piece, it's easier to read the word. When you understand each one, just take one at a time and kind of take a little time and have a good general layman's understanding of it, then you can read the word. And like understanding a new piece of vocabulary by reading it in context, as we were taught in school, then you can start to understand, hey, okay, I get it. This is how this works. Von Braun Space Station is one of the things that if you went to and talked to a guy who worked at NASA as an engineer and you said Von Braun style space station, immediately he's going to picture something that looks a little bit like this wheel. And that's because of something that's called centrifugal force. Okay, and we're going to get into how that's a funny concept, and there's actually some controversies. It's kind of interesting how people gripe about it, but it's a thing. Okay, it's the centrifugal effect. Now, shielding is a concept that works in relation to how do we protect humans in the environment of space. We're going to get into some of that as we go along. Gravity assist and Mars cycler are two examples of orbital mechanics and how we can use different methods to work with momentum and gravity and centrifugal force and these kinds of things in order to steer. How do you drive around the neighborhood? That's what that letter of the space alphabet is about. Now, NASA has discovered recently that the chemistry of the soil of Mars has a very high concentrations of mineralized perchlorates, right? These really difficult chemistry for us to figure out how do you grow plants in that soil. It's potentially harmful to humans. It's really, really salty soil, and we're going to get into how this letter of the conceptual alphabet can be turned around and turned into a benefit for mankind. A benefit for people on Earth, everywhere else in the solar system, and definitely a benefit for the people on Mars. How do we work chemistry that seems to be very problematic into something that works? How do we solve the perchlorate problem? There's potassium chlorate and other kinds of chlorates in the soil of Mars, and NASA and the space groups are really concerned because they don't have a solution that they're willing to present to the public. Well, I'm working on solutions for this, and along the way we're going to discuss those, and I'd really like people who understand something about chemistry to share their thoughts in the comment section below, or even better, put a comment in the section below that leads to, hey, look at my channel, I have a response video, and I want to present it. I'd really like to see that kind of interchange. This has been about a 8 or 9 minute little video introducing a bit of a roadmap to the videos that are going to come along later. Thank you very much for sharing your time with me today. Please like, subscribe, because I need more subscribers in order to share this with more people so we can get more constructive criticism in the comments, and I can share these ideas with a wider audience so that we can get a discussion going about how can we reimagine what we do in space for the benefit of everybody here on Earth. Also, please share this video with someone that you know through social media on another continent besides North America. Any other continent, anywhere in the world, please share that somewhere else in the world. Thank you very much. May 2021 be a much better year for you than 2020. God bless. Happy New Year.